Hey y'all, it's your girl Jamila. Welcome back to Lay It on the Line. Today I have special guest, Miss Brandi, and Miss Brandi has a story to tell. And today her story is going to be about life after trauma. How are you today?
I can't complain. I'm blessed. I'm here, but I thank y'all for having me here on the podcast.
My pleasure, my pleasure. Before we get into your trauma, let's go back to the beginning, okay? In your family, how many siblings do you have?
I have a total of four brothers.
Four
A total of
brothers.
four brothers.
And you're the only
Yes,
sister?
I'm the only girl after my mom and my dad.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, and you come from a two-parent household?
No.
Okay,
No.
so were your mom and dad married?
They were married up until um I was
Hmm.
17. But they were divorced when I was 5 years
All
old.
right, and who is this young man right here?
This is my grandson, my second grandson, K-Son.
Hey, K-son,
Wave.
you want to lay it on the line with us? All right, so you have a grandson, so that means that you have children. How many kids you got?
I have four boys. I
Okay,
have four boys and three grandsons.
okay. No girls, and you the only daughter.
Yes, I had a girl dog, but that's it.
Yeah. Okay, so you're a mom of
Four.
four,
hmm
and how many grandkids do you have?
Three boys.
Three boys.
hmm
Okay, four boys and three grandsons.
Yes, that is correct.
All right. And when you tell us life after trauma, what does trauma look like to you?
Um, Trauma can be described different ways, but for me, the trauma I went through is my life story.
Mhm.
Um, the ups and downs, the trials and tribulations of coming from domestic violence, sexual assault, um, being a single mother, helping out everybody when you can't help yourself,
Mhm.
or you rather help everybody than help yourself.
Now, when you say domestic violence and sexual assault, is that witnessing that happen in front of you, or is that something that you've experienced yourself
Both,
as an adult?
as a
Or
child and an adult.
okay, do you care to share that part of your story?
My mom and my dad, basically, they they would
Mhm.
fight. I didn't watch my mom get beat with a baseball bat by my dad. Um, it's a lot. My dad was shot with a 45 by my mom. Um,
Did he survive?
yeah, he survived
Okay, and this all went on.
when I was a child.
Okay.
Um, Basically, they was icon teenagers of the 80s.
Mhm.
I would hear them, at nighttime, they fighting, going blow for blow, blow for blow. Um, my dad just set my mom car on fire. It's a lot. They were just,
How did that affect you?
to be honest with you, I seen it, but I became numb to it.
Did you know that what you were seeing as a child that was not normal, or that was not okay, or did it just seem like, oh, this is just what it's like?
It was the norm. I felt that it was. I thought at that time it was the norm for me because at that time I didn't understand. I was too young to understand what was going on.
Mhm.
So, but as I got older, I knew it wasn't right.
Mhm. Okay. So seeing that and then not knowing and then becoming aware of it, that would be considered, I would consider that as trauma. How did it affect you though? Do you feel like witnessing your parents go through the domestic violence, does that affect you as a person? Like, did it make you an angry person? Because people have a lot to say about what you go through in your childhood. Some people, they suppress it and they push it to the back of their mind and act like things never happened. Like, what you experience, does it trigger you to think or to have PTSD in any way?
I always pushed it back.
Is that healthy?
As me being 46 right now, no.
Hmm.
Um, I put it in the back of my mind, like as as if like it was normal.
Hmm.
Like, not saying it was okay or I'm feeling that it was okay, because it wasn't okay. But I had a tendency to put everything off, my needs, my feelings. Instead of dealing with what I went through, I help everybody else what they going through.
Hmm. Hmm.
That's what I suffer from now.
Okay. Have you gotten help for it right now?
Actually, right now, I just started trauma therapy. Um, this is I had 2 sessions already, but I've been seeing a psychiatrist. Um, Started back up in 2020.
Okay, so the things that you're being treated for in therapy is a result of things that happened to you in 2020.
No, it's basically overall in life,
Everything.
everything.
Okay. What took you so long to maybe get counseling, to seek the help? Did you know that you needed, or did you know that there was help for what you was going through?
I knew I needed help for what occurred in 2020, but they brought it to my attention because I put it so far behind me. It's like out of sight, out of mind.
Hmm.
Um,
So what did you experience in 2020?
my marriage ended in the beginning of 2020.
How long were you married?
At that time, it was 22 years.
22 years. Wow.
22 years.
Hmm.
Um, Basically, I've been knowing my husband since I was 12 years old. Um,
How did you meet your husband?
we was in CPS custody. Um,
Okay,
Growing
so
up.
you had some parents that used to be Ike and Tina.
Hmm.
Is that how you ended up in CPS custody, because they were abusive?
Let me elaborate on that. CPS didn't step in. My mom volunteered for CPS to step in at the time. Uh, my dad was the type of person that always worked, but he loved his women. He
Hmm.
loved his child. He loved his women and work. My mom was the type to love the street life and her men, but both of them basically didn't want to take the responsibility of being there physically. And my mom, because I was my dad's child,
Hmm.
my dad was with my first stepmother off and on, and he would go back and forth to my mom and my stepmother for years. Um, my mom would get mad when he didn't bring the child support payments. Here we go. She placing me out on one of his family member doorsteps. You know, calling me B's and H's, calling his family members, hey, you need to
How
come
old are
get
you at
this.
this time?
I was about 6 or 7
So if your dad didn't bring your mom child support payment,
on
she would,
time.
on time, she would take you and drop you off at one of his family member houses
Yes.
and then curse at you.
No, she would cuss at them, basically stating, hey, you need to come. Somebody needs to come get this B.
You being the B,
Yes.
because he didn't bring. Oh Lord.
Cause he probably would work over,
Yeah.
or something like that. But he was always he would be good for the money.
Mhm.
Um,
But she wanted at the right time that
when
she
she
wanted.
wanted it,
Right.
yes.
Okay. So
Um,
you was staying with your mom at that time, and then she got mad and said that she just gonna put you in CPS. Like, how did you get to CPS?
well, basically, it was years after that. I was with her. I always wanted to be with her. I
Mhm.
always loved my mom. I always wanted to be with her. And basically, she just got to the point where, hey, I don't want to do this. She worked, did her side things, been in the streets. She was an alcoholic as well. And one day, she told me to pack my things, and we went to the first one was called Sand Dollar. It's in Pasadena. It was in Pasadena at the time, and basically she left me there. It was a children's shelter. Um, After that, I went to Chimney Rock Center. Currently, who you know, um, I see kids over there as well. Um, Out for Chimney Rock, I
Mhm.
was there. My dad would come see me. My dad would drop me off gifts
He
and
couldn't
things
get
like
you
that.
out of there.
He
Oh,
loved his
neither one of
work.
them wanted to, cause he working and your. What was your mom reason?
I don't know. I never questioned her.
Mm.
To this day, I never questioned her.
And nobody in the family never said like your mom. Nobody never asked your mama why she put you in a shelter.
I don't know.
So your four
I don't know.
brothers, are they with your mom?
My oldest brother, my mom always kept with her.
Okay.
Um, my second brother, he was adopted
He's your
out.
mom's child or he's
He
your.
he's my mom. My mom have my two older brothers and me, and my younger brother is by my dad.
Okay.
Um, my oldest brother always went with my mom.
Mhm.
My second brother was adopted out. Um,
Do you know where he is now?
oh, we all close.
Okay,
We
good.
all close. Um, Actually, my dad always made sure
That
that
y'all
they
knew
was
each
taken
other.
care of.
Oh, okay. So he provided.
He provided, but he wasn't there physically.
Right. And do you think that that's important? Because I know a lot of guys, and we talk about this in the group all the time. A lot of guys feel like because they pay child support, that they're doing their part and that they're being a parent. Do you feel like you didn't miss out on anything because he did provide?
No, I missed out on a lot.
You feel like you missed out on a lot. So if you could talk to a dad that might feel like, well, I pay my child support, that's I'm doing more than enough. As a child, how do you feel about that, or what would you say to them?
Um, you could pay your child support all day long. That's somebody making you pay child support.
Hmm.
But you still have to put in the work for your child. Basically, let me give you a better understanding. With my sons,
He's so cute.
say thank you. My kid's dad, he was forced to pay child support,
Hmm.
but he didn't put in the work.
Hmm.
To this day, my kids do not have a really good relationship with their dad,
So
and
would
they're
they
grown.
dad say, well, it was your mom? Because the next thing you know, they gonna say is your mama kept you from me. That's every
No,
man excuse that don't have a relationship with their kids.
my kids know. I'm very open with my sons,
Hmm.
and my sons range from 23 to 29.
Hmm.
I'm very open. I would never. I can't speak for everybody else. I would never keep my children from their dad. But his thing is, he wanted his cars, he wanted his women,
Hmm.
instead of putting in the time for his children.
Hmm.
Now, I can, when we did go to court for child support, I can tell you stories where my son played football for Decaney. My son is all of them wonderful. So you and your girlfriend go in court and tell a judge that you didn't know that you don't know, no, they don't know that my son is in school, but you want to reap the benefits of my son playing high school football and living a life
The
and fame.
glory.
Yes,
Hmm.
but you lied and said that you didn't know he was in school. But you want to show up to his football games.
Hmm.
But what about when his best friend died?
Mm.
You wasn't there. What about when his mother and his brother was going through the shelter and you told us, hey, I wouldn't sell nothing?
To help y'all out.
Exactly. It was your mother,
Mm.
his mother,
Mm.
that was there with my children. They love their grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the son that you know of mine,
Mm-hmm.
he could run it down to you. I never talked bad about him. I never put him down. I never kept him from him. For what? My mom didn't keep me from my dad. It was
Mm-hmm.
just the fact that they didn't want this responsibility of doing what they need to do to be mother and father.
Father, right, their responsibility. And it's crazy because it's just, I know that you had your kids, at a young age, but it's like a lot of young women, they feel like when they get in relationships, like, oh, I need to hurry and have a baby. But people don't really talk about like how much of a responsibility it is to be a parent, especially to be a young parent that you don't even have yourself, you don't know who you are or who you want to be in
Right.
life, and now you're responsible for these small children. How was it for you as a young mother being with a man that prioritized material things?
At first, I didn't. When I got pregnant with my son, I never forget my first son.
How old were you?
I was 16. No, I was 15 at the time.
You got pregnant at 15 and had him at
At
16.
16, yes.
Okay.
I was going to Carver, and I didn't know how to tell my mom that I was pregnant because she always made a joke saying that, oh, if you get pregnant, we having baby for dinner. You know,
Oh, wow.
that's what she would say.
Mhm.
So I found out I was pregnant. Matter of fact, their dad took me to a Baylor Teen Clinic right there in LBJ. His mom knew about it, but I didn't know how to tell my mom.
Mhm.
Okay, so I went and told the school counselor on the first day of school,
That you was pregnant, and you knew you was pregnant. Mhm.
and I didn't know how to tell my mom.
Mhm.
She broke the news to my mom.
How did your mama feel that somebody else had to tell her instead of her own daughter
She
telling her?
explained to her why I couldn't tell her,
Mhm.
cause I felt that I was letting her down.
Okay. You didn't want to disappoint her,
Right.
or you didn't know how to face the disappointment.
I've been disappointed all my life.
But I'm
I
saying
just
her,
felt
her
that
being disappointed.
I didn't want her to feel hurt by what the actions that I took.
Mhm.
I consider her feelings instead of
Over
mine.
yours. Mhm.
And when I got home, we talked, and she asked me. She said, "Well, what do you want to do?" And I said, "Well, you didn't have abortion with me, and this is the sin is in the child. I mean, sin is in the doing and not the child." So that I was moved over.
So you told her she didn't have an abortion with you. How old was your mom when you were born?
Okay, I want to say 19.
Okay.
Let me see, 16, 17, 18, 17, 18, 19. I want to say about 18 or 19. Because
Okay.
when my mom and my dad met, she was pregnant with my second brother.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And my dad moved her from Port Arthur here
Mhm.
while she was pregnant. My brother name is Ricky and my daddy name is Ricky.
Okay.
But they spell different. Everybody thought that was my dad's child. But that wasn't my dad's
But
child.
he met her when she was pregnant with him,
Yes.
and he raised him, I guess,
No, she gave him, when she had him, she gave him up for adoption.
to somebody in the family.
I wouldn't say they were family. It was somebody my mom knew.
Okay.
And
And it was probably the best decision that she felt like was for her.
my dad brother, I'm sorry, my brother's dad raped my mom.
Oh.
And we later learned that he was killed. So my mom, my brother had issues. Me and my brothers and my mom, we all have issues with her. So everybody have a different story to tell.
So his story is she was raped by his dad, so that's why she gave him away.
He was angry at her. To this day, he never disclosed it to me. I'm just going by what my mom told me. Um, he feel that my brothers had it better than me. No, I'm gonna change that because that's what the older brother said. My second brother feel that we had it better than him.
With his adopted family?
No, with our mother in life.
But do he know that your mom sent you to a homeless shelter and that you ended up in the system?
He didn't know that story.
So on the outside looking in, it looked like y'all had a better life than. So I wonder what life looked like for him if he thought that y'all life was better than his.
He never told me that. I never, even though we all close, them two are not close because my mom always drove a wedge
The
between those
oldest one
two
and the second one.
and me.
Hmm.
But to be honest with you, my dad is the one who made sure he was financially equipped, but my mom didn't know it. My dad would send money down there. My dad always kept in contact with him and the adopted father down there,
Hmm.
but my mom didn't know
And
it.
he helped out. Did your mom keep in touch with him?
Off and on.
Okay, so you have the brother that the mom showed favoritism to, the brother that she sent away, that she gave away for adoption. Then she had you, and then you have a younger brother with
Which is
your
by my
dad.
dad.
Hmm. How is your relationship with your younger brother?
He stays with me.
Okay, so
Yeah,
y'all are close.
we're very close. He's
Okay.
17.
Your youngest brother is 17,
Hmm.
and this is with your dad.
It's kind of ghetto, but yes.
Well, you know, dads, they can be 80 years old and
Yes.
still have
I'm
babies.
older than his mom,
Oh, wow.
and we have a really good relationship.
Okay, so daddy big pimping, but you say he liked his women. Papa was a Rolling Stone.
I'm sorry, y'all.
It's all good. You know, we are open to all types of situations and stuff. So I know that you knew about the interview and you say your daughter popped up. It's all good. This is
Like,
life. Sometimes you're not going to have a
I was
babysitter.
ready. Cause I know we've been
Trying
talking
to
about
get
this
to
for
it.
a while.
It's all good. Uh-oh, hey, don't hurt yourself.
Come here, cause we can't give you nothing but a band-aid.
All
Sit
right.
down. Sit.
All
Oh
right,
Lord.
so we're talking about what trauma looks like for you. Now, one thing that I do love that you told me is that you are seeking therapy.
Uh-huh.
What made you seek therapy? Was it a friend or did church tell you or like what got you to the point where you say, "You know what? Let me get professional help."
It wasn't that the trauma that I went through in life, I never let it get me down.
Mhm.
So let me start off by saying that. I never used it as an excuse for nothing.
Mhm.
And my psychiatrist that I was seeing for so long um, was saying, hey, I want you to see a therapist.
Mhm.
And I was like, okay. He said, because you have so much to say.
You need to get it off your chest.
And he was like, I'm not qualified to do what is needed.
Mhm.
He said, but I want you to see a therapist. So I waited a few months. It wasn't nothing I was questioning in my mind, like, well, I got to see a therapist, you know?
Mhm.
No. So I started reading about different things and say, hey, let me just go ahead because it's
Try it
time for
out.
me to bring what's in the back to the front.
Yeah.
Maybe it could, maybe it can give me a better idea how a man's supposed to treat a woman.
Mhm.
Even though, don't get me wrong, um, sometimes I feel, sit down, sometimes I feel like I knew my dad loved me, you know, I knew he loved me. But what if I don't know how to say it, what if I was shown how a man's supposed to love a woman,
Mhm.
you know? Um, Maybe I wouldn't have endured some of the things that I went through with my husband, you know, my kid's dad.
So what happened with your husband? He can't mess with your mic. It's gonna mess up the sound.
Go get my phone. Um, Basically, we met when we was 12 years old. Um, in CPS. We was in the shelters together. Oh my God. I'm so embarrassed. Um, go get my
He's
phone.
just bored.
Go get my phone. Go get my phone. Go call daddy. Go get my phone. Um, we were 12.
Mhm.
So when my grandmother, um, basically, I started staying with my grandmother after I left the the last shelter. It was always my grandmother. Yes, but go over there. Um, it was always my grandmother and my dad's first wife that made sure I was straight.
Mhm.
Now let me clarify this because I talked with my therapist on yesterday. When I was staying with these different family members on my dad's side, he paid for me to stay at these people's houses. My stepmother is the one who made sure she got me on weekends and brought me new clothes and made sure my hair was done for the week while I went to school at, you
Mhm.
know. And before she passed away, she made it her business to tell me that my dad paid for me to stay with other people. And
Did you think growing up that these were family members and they was just taking you in because that's what family do?
I
You didn't even think about it like that?
no, cause I
Why
was a
do you think
kid.
she told you that he paid them so that you can know that the family wasn't being genuine? Was it a purpose for her telling you that?
I think she basically wanted to tell me. At this time, she told me because when she was sick.
Okay.
So I think basically she wanted me to know before she left this world.
Mhm.
I didn't know I was gonna lose her. I lost her and my grandmother in the same year, of
Mhm.
2024.
Last year.
I mean not 2024. I'm sorry, 2004.
Okay.
Those are my heart. Can you stop? Um, they made sure my well-being was okay. You know. Um, but my stepmother, I don't know. She just told me,
Mhm.
and she made it her business to tell me. She was the one who told me that I never had a birthday party before. She gave me my first birthday party, and I remember it to this day. I never had a birthday party until she gave me one.
How old was you when you had your first birthday party?
I was about 8.
Mhm.
Never had one before.
Mhm.
Um, she would come get me, and she told me that she told my dad at one point in time that she wanted that they needed to get me, but my dad didn't want
Mhm.
to get custody of me, and my dad
Okay.
didn't want to. But my grandmother, that's how, me learning to cook. I stayed with her after I was out the children's shelter. I stayed with her, went to school with her. I met my best friend. I met my husband then.
Mhm.
Um,
So your husband, he was in a shelter too?
he was in CPS custody.
He was in CPS custody. Did y'all end up at the same school or y'all just kept in contact from being at the shelter?
It's called Chimney Rock Center, and
Mhm.
they have three different programs there. I was the one. I was in a program where actually you was in CPS temporarily,
Mhm.
voluntarily from your parents.
Okay. So
So
is that with displaced children or is it like behavior problems or kids that are taken or voluntarily out? It's
okay,
just the parents volunteer. How does that work?
so I don't know how it worked back then,
Mhm.
but I work from now.
Mhm.
They don't have that anymore.
Mhm.
So back then, that I mean, your parents could say, "Hey, I don't."
Like I don't want to be a mom no more. Here, take these kids,
Yeah, or or they bad or whatever the
and
case.
you
They
can
could
just
tell
go
any
drop
story,
them off.
and you do an intake. Your kids is there, and I was in that part.
My mama must didn't know about that.
Miss Ruby,
Right,
let me
right.
call her.
I remember my mama
Go
telling
go
me
over
one
there
time, "You
with your
call
backpack.
CPS and tell them that I beat you. I'm gonna
Go over
beat
there,
you
call
when
them.
they get here."
I don't want to talk to
Call
your daddy.
his daddy. He ain't said two words since he been here, and now he want to
Okay,
say
go over
call
there
his
by
daddy.
go sit on couch and call your daddy. All right, thank you. But basically they had the to bring it up what you're saying. The part I was in is basically that is daddy calling me. That it was probably about 30 girls on my side. They had girls on this side, boys on this side. Oh Lord.
We can edit this part. Don't worry about it.
Please. I'm so embarrassed. But I feel good about what we're doing.
Okay.
I'm gonna put you outside. Anybody want a kid?
We already got one. I wish he was here to play with him.
Um
Okay.
so but the side that my husband was on, he was literally taking
What you mean taking?
CPS.
Okay, so the side he was on the side where CPS take kids and put them in to CPS custody.
Right. Turn it down. Oh my God. I'm so embarrassed. I wish I had a babysitter. I've been wanting to do this for so long. But he was in there because he didn't want to go to school. But to be honest with you, I met him, his older brother, and his twin sister in there.
Okay.
My sister-in-law and my brother-in-law. I met all them in there.
Mhm.
But my brother-in-law was in the other program
Mhm.
where basically they was finna get ready, somewhat age out
Mhm.
or something like that. And my husband was in Tay House, I was in CRC, and the other one I forgot what it was, but it was like off to the side. But basically I met my husband when my side would go outside, they side would go outside, and I at that time I was playing basketball and things of that sort, and me and my husband we would play basketball, against each other, and by him being from Acres me going to school in Acres to remind you, I ain't never went to the same school twice.
Okay.
So,
Wow.
and he knew some of the people I knew, and we basically just hit out. We were best friends
Mhm.
before then. So once my grandmother got me, he left. He ran away. He ran away from CRC, and my grandmother basically made sure we stayed in contact
Okay.
at that time. And then that's when I met my best friend at that same time too.
Okay.
And but he never went back to CPS after that because he was
How
always on
old
the run.
was he?
I
Like
was
a
I was
teenager?
12. He was 11 because I'm a year older than him.
So he ran away when he was 11. So where did he stay at the whole time?
Oh, he always found his family.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, he's street smart, shy.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
he found his family, but he didn't. He ran away from there because I wasn't there anymore.
Right.
So we would go to Celebrate Station. He would come on my grandmother's house and everything and that sort. But he wound up being charged as an adult when he was 15 years old for aggravated robbery with a deadly weapon.
Mm.
Well, it was aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, and he was charged. They gave him 10 years
Okay.
at 15. We lost contact, and then I had my kids, and
Did he have to do the whole 10 years?
yeah, I did 10 flat.
Because aggravated in Texas, you have to serve the whole.
Half.
Is it half?
You have to have half.
How did
Anything
he end up doing the whole thing then?
he signed for it,
But
but he was
don't
a
they
bad
let you do
actor.
parole?
He was a bad actor.
Okay, so he couldn't get parole because he was a hard head.
He was an actor, but you have to do half of your time in order to come up for parole after 91, I believe.
I don't know.
No, because I used to work
I
for.
just never heard nobody get 10 years and actually do the whole 10,
He did
like,
the whole 10 flat.
because he didn't want to act right.
Oh, he stayed in trouble when he was in TDC. And I used to work for TDC.
Mm.
He stayed in trouble in TDC.
Okay. So, love of your life, go to jail. Then you meet somebody else, and then you have kids with them. All three of them. Did you have any kids with your husband?
No.
Okay, so all four of your kids are for your current husband or the husband that you've been with for 25? How many
No,
times have you been married?
I've been married once.
Okay,
Never
so
again. Never
okay.
again.
Oh Lord,
Okay, I have 4 kids
never
by
say
my
never.
kid's dad.
Okay, so the person that's your kid's dad is not the person that was in CPS with you.
No,
Okay, so the
no,
person that you grew up with that you was in CPS with, they got 10 years. Then you meet your husband,
correct.
and your husband you stay married for like all the way up into 2020 for 22. No, the cheating started or the breakup started in 2020. 2020.
No, the cheating started way before then.
But I'm
The
just
breakup
remembering the
was in
date. Okay, so
2020.
the breakup was in 2020, but in 2020, before y'all broke up, y'all had been together for 20 something years.
At that time, it was what is 2025. This year it will be 24 years, about 24 years, 25 years.
Okay,
We've been
so
married.
tell me what marriage was like for you. Was marriage a goal for you?
Yes,
Did you wanted to be married? Like what your ideal of what marriage was when you got married, was that
I
your
wanted
reality?
something. I wanted something that I didn't have.
Mhm.
Basically, a mom and a dad in the same household with with the kids.
Right.
Um, when he came home in 2009, I married him while he was in. I'm not embarrassed, but we let me fill in the gaps. We reconnected because I seen his sister at a gathering.
Mhm.
But I've been looking for him for all those years.
Mhm.
But see, what I know now, I didn't know then how to maneuver and get information on a person. I knew where he was, but I just didn't know how to get the information.
Mhm.
So I sent his sister at a outing, and she gave me his address. I wrote him, and this was probably back in 2019. Yeah, 2019. And and we start back seeing each other. We was, hey, that's my best friend, and you remember this, you remember that. It's like we picked up
But you still
like
married at this time, right?
to him, yeah.
Oh, this is the same. Okay, I think I'm lost somewhere.
Okay, my kid's dad, I am not married to.
Okay, so you're not married to the kid's dad,
No,
but you married the guy that you was
was
in CPS with.
right.
Okay.
So we lost contact
Okay,
and
got
we
it.
picked it back
Okay,
up.
got it.
That's the person I always said when we was kids we was gonna get married,
So
and I literally married him.
the guy that you married that you known since you was a kid, that's who you've been married to for all these years.
Right,
The baby daddy just came in when he got locked up.
right.
Makes sense now.
Correct.
Okay.
So
So
he told me don't put my life on hold the last time I seen him before he got shipped off to do his
okay,
10
because he
years.
knew what was going on.
Right.
You do your time.
Matter of fact, I was pregnant with my oldest son when I found out that he was being charged an adult, and
Mhm.
I was 16. No, I was 15. We went to Harris County because at that time they let anybody see anybody.
Mhm.
I went to Harris County and I told him I was pregnant.
Mhm. But it wasn't for him.
He no,
He in jail.
he was in jail.
Mhm.
And I was out front with him, laid everything down, and he was like, "Just
Live your life.
live your life. I
Okay.
got 10 years. I can't do nothing for you."
Do you appreciate him telling you that, or do you wish he had told you something different?
To be honest with you, it never ran through my head. But I thank him for saying it
Mhm.
because I want to have my children.
Mhm.
Because my children is my life.
Mhm.
So that's my blessing.
Mhm.
Matters who I had them with, but
Mhm.
those are my blessings.
Mhm.
Because I'm not who I used to be,
Mhm.
thanks to my children.
Mhm.
But I'm glad of who I am. Those the reason why I kept pushing on. I never gave up. So
So this love of your life, you meet him when you're in elementary school. Y'all at the same
we was in junior
shelter,
high.
junior high. Y'all
Yes.
get married. Y'all stay married. What brought y'all to not being married? What happened?
In 2020, January of 2020, it was 5 years last month. Um, when we were staying over here, Our oldest grandson, who's 8 years old, we had just when and got his picked up his pictures because like the old paperboy, little photo shoots and things of that sort. So we were just sitting in the garage, him, me, and my mom. At that time, I brought my mom in with me to take care of her.
Mm.
And
We gonna go back to
piggyback on
that.
that one.
Mhm.
So I started getting a lot of ding, 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 ding on my phone, and I'm looking like, wow, who is this? Why they requesting me? So I looked at the person, and I said, I don't know why she requested me, and you know who she is. You know the lady.
Mm.
Yeah.
Is this lady my friend?
No, but we went to school. You know me and you went to
Okay.
school
Cause
together.
I don't want this person to be my friend if they doing something shady. Okay, she pink.
But
Let me
you
pour me
you
some.
you know
Let
who
me
she
pour
is.
me some more wine.
We went to school together, y'all. We went to school together twice.
Right, middle
Twice.
school and high school.
Twice. So
And I swear I would have never known. I would have never known. Like I never knew that you was in the system or anything like that.
nobody knows.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
they know now.
it's a testimony,
It is.
So I'm thinking to myself, like, why is she requesting to be my friend on Facebook?
Mhm.
So I look at my messenger. It's 75 or more screenshots of her and my husband. I'm talking about private part pictures, him telling her, well, hey, I'm gonna meet you. He never brought her to my house. He knew better than that. I gotta pick my kids up at this certain time. You know, let me back up because I'm gonna fill in the gaps so everybody can get a better understanding. Okay. My husband used to be in the oil field, right?
Okay.
Making lots of money, good money.
Mhm.
He got hurt because he fell. So he wouldn't fall in a hole. He fell backwards. Two bones crushed on the nerves.
Mhm.
So he had to learn how to walk again.
Mhm.
So a man going from making like $1,800 a week to $900 a month.
Mm.
It ain't an excuse, and I never use an excuse. But it started messing with his head and whatnot.
Mhm.
You can't walk. You know what I'm saying? You losing your ability to use the restroom. He had to learn to do all that over again. I was there.
Wow.
So that's why I had to work two jobs, two full-time jobs, because I got my mom, I got my four kids, I got my husband, my oldest grandson, and his mom living in my house.
Please tell me that you had more than 3 bedrooms.
At that time, I had 3 bedrooms.
Okay.
At that time, I was staying in room to rent. But I was basically taking care of everybody. So it got to the point where he was gambling his money away.
But you making less money. Why are you Oh, well, he was thinking that he was gonna be able to bring in more money, I
I,
guess.
to be honest, I don't know.
Mhm.
But
She's pretty.
it anger start building up. This when it started getting real bad. But I brush everything off because I'm saying
Wait,
to
who's
myself,
the anger building up in? Him or you?
him.
Okay.
He would like how the TV would sit on the stand or something like that.
Mhm.
He would literally come in the house because boy, if you don't get yourself back,
Mhm.
he would literally come in the house after losing his money from shooting dice and take the TV and
So
knock it.
he's destroying property now.
Yeah, cause we had floors like this here. He would knock it over. I don't know how many TVs I had to replace.
How long did you put up with that?
As much as I possibly could.
How long did it take him to recover
From what?
from his back? You
He's
say he wasn't
he
able to
he. I mean
walk.
he can walk now, but he's not able to run.
Okay.
But it don't stop there. He would get to the point where you know he being verbally abusive. I never told nobody this until now. My husband got mad at me one time and he pointed a loaded gun in my face. I swear to God. I put this on my mom and my dad. I never lied. Nothing about that.
What was his reasoning for doing
Cause he
that?
was frustrated. It was like he was frustrated. He was mad, but you want to take your anger out on somebody else. I'm the one who leaked all of that. You going out here spending your money, and then folks say, well, your wife keep you in this car and these rims, and she dressing you, your wife doing all this, that, and all that.
So
It
it's
start
making
messing
him
with.
feel like he's not a man because he's feeling like my wife got to take care of me. But that's the thing. Don't men say that they want to build with somebody and they want to be able to have a woman that's gonna have their
Go over
back
there.
when they fall off?
Go get your
Like
snake.
he didn't see it as you fell out. He fell off and you picked him up where he fell off at.
I don't know. I never questioned it.
Okay.
I'm the type of person, I just roll with the punches. Don't get me wrong. I can put my feet down, and say what I need to say. But at that time, by him being my husband, and I was trying to be obedient to God,
Mhm. Mhm.
you know, stop. Now go back over there. Thank you. Go back over there.
So what do you do now to handle? Because this is one thing that I want people to understand, and we're gonna have to bookmark it, and we're gonna have to come back for a part two. And part two, I'm gonna dig a little bit deeper. But before we stop, before we go into a part two, I want to end part one with everything that you're going through. Nobody never talks about the pain or how you grieve a relationship. You was married to this man for over 20 years, and I'm sure you felt like forever y'all were gonna stay married together. You feeling like, well, I'm being here for you. You fell off and I got your back and I'm holding you down. And when that's not enough, what do Brandi do to deal with that pain?
Let me back up. When I found those text messages, it was his sister best friend, and they was messing around for 8 years.
So this man that you was married to, that you waited on to come home and build a life with, he had a whole relationship with somebody for 8 years before you even found out about it.
And his whole family knew about it except for me.
That's
I would
very
see her at functionings, but I wouldn't see the
the
sister.
mistress.
She wasn't no mistress. That was her sister best friend. So
So
she
she's a
was the
family
other.
friend.
She was a family friend, but I ignored the time because I was
Did
out.
the family know that he was messing with her?
Yes, yes.
And they allowed her to be around. See, this is a whole nother subject. We're gonna have to come back and we're gonna have to lay that all on the line because this is tea right now. This is more than trauma. This is some stuff that people get hurt over.
I was gonna kill him.
I'm glad you didn't do it. We gonna put a pin right there. But before we go, as you know, the show is sponsored by Who Made That. We have a gift for you, and I
Okay.
hope that you like it, and I hope that it's an incentive for you to come back and we can sit down and we can talk about it. All right.
Yes.
Well, tell me your grandson name again.
K-Son.
K-Son, thank you, and K-Son for joining us. We're gonna get Miss Brandi back for a part two, and we're gonna finish talking about this trauma. We're gonna dig deep into how she's going about healing, because a lot of times people don't understand that you do have to grieve a relationship, but once you grieve that relationship, you go through a healing process, and she's working on that right now. So we're gonna have her come back so that she can finish her story.
Yes.
Thank you so much,
You're
Brandi, for
welcome. Thank
joining
you.
us here at Lay It on the Line. And for those of you who are watching, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We'll see y'all next time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, 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 lay it on the line, talk through our problems, let's try resolving them. Oh, should we even try? Meet me halfway, and I'll give you time. Oh, oh, lay it on the line, show me